was about to start recording a video, but your meowing is interrupting that recording. I would like to continue recording it now. Is that okay with you? Ow. Claws. Very sharp. Yes, they are. Ow! Let me get this straight. You want attention, but when I try to kiss you, give me bites. Does that? You see this fat ass? You see? The devil couldn't reach me, so he sent me you. What's up? So, it has been right around 2 months since I officially came back to content creation, although completely and utterly part-time. And since I have come back, there has been one consistent question on multiple people's lips, or I guess their fingertips, because they typically type it to me over the keyboard, whether it be in my comment sections, on Twitch, on Discord, wherever the case may be. People have been asking me, am I ever going back to being a full-time content creator? And the answer to that is, I don't know. That's kind of up to how well this goes. So, a quick rundown. I've been trying to be a content creator for much longer than I think anybody realizes. I actually started making YouTube videos when I was about 15 years old on a YouTube channel that hopefully stays dead and buried because I forgot the login in order to log in and delete it, but I started off trying to do rant videos based off of Foamy the Squirrel, which is a little bit embarrassing. And to do it, I used to steal, my mom had a pink digital camera that you could directly upload to YouTube from, and that is how I would upload to YouTube. I never did any editing. In fact, in some of those videos, you can actually watch as I sit there and stare into space trying to think of what to say, which these days is cut out of my videos because that does happen, I do guarantee you. The little intro with Baxter, I cut about 15 minutes of him going meow, meow, meow. I cut all of that out. So there's a lot of times where I'll hit the record button and then not really know what to say, or I don't really like the script that I'm doing, and so I'll chop it up a little bit, and that just didn't exist back then. Well, it existed. I didn't have the tools back then to do it. So I've been trying to be a content creator for a very long time, and that just goes back to the fact that I've always wanted to be a stand-up comedian since I was like 9 years old. And so I've gone through a lot, right? Mostly opinionated content has been kind of like the core of the things that I've done. I've never really branched out into other things, although recently on this channel I have branched into doing like gameplay. But the point is that I've been trying to be a content creator for a long time, and in January of 2024 I ended up taking a shot in the dark. Basically, I was not very fulfilled with my job. I didn't like my coworkers. I didn't like the way the company was handling things, so I quit my job with the intention of doing this full time, because when I quit in January, I was making enough money to pay my bills between plasma donation and ad revenue on YouTube and, you know, Twitch subs and things, and of course like merch sales and things like that. So I was already kind of in being able to pay my bills and barely survive. But what ended up happening and why I ended up taking those 2 months off was I just couldn't barely survive anymore. Barely surviving wasn't doing it for me. If a video didn't get as many views as it normally did, and therefore less ad revenue, or if I had a particularly slow month on Twitch, or if something happened and I couldn't donate, right? Because like, you guys, yeah, you can see it really well. I'm bruised as fuck right here. This is from the last time I went donate plasma. They fucked my arm up, and when the bruise looks like this, they won't let you donate. Right, so I was making about $1,100-ish a month, $1,100 to $1,200 a month between everything, and that was barely enough to survive. That was barely enough to pay the bills that I had, barely enough to do the things that I wanted to do, and therefore most of my life was stuck in these four walls working on content. I was always writing, I was always editing, I was always recording. I was basically never doing anything but writing, editing, recording, going donate plasma, coming back home and doing the same thing. I wasn't taking time for myself. I wasn't reading my books. I wasn't watching YouTube videos. I was watching YouTube videos, but they were always off to the side, right? It was always a little side project that I was barely listening to. But I wasn't taking time to do the things that I liked to do. And so when it came to a head, when everything happened, and I was like, I'm tired of fighting this fight. I'm tired of getting harassed. I'm tired of dealing with slurs. I'm tired of wondering if I'm going to pay the bills this month. I'm tired of blah, 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 blah. That's when I stopped. That's when I stopped, and I said, something has to change. If you are not aware, one of the biggest philosophies in life that everybody should take on is things can't change until you do, right? Change doesn't just happen. You don't just wake up one day and everything's different in your life, right? The major things that happen in your life change because you make that change. You take the steps forward to do what needs to be done. And this applies to everything, right? Not just your life in general, but like if you're not liking your job, you have to make the change to either go find a different job or talk to your boss and see what you guys can fix that's wrong with the job that you're working. If you are a content creator, you don't like your content isn't you're plateaued, right? Like you're only every video only gets 100 views and you don't know, you want it to be different. You can't just keep releasing the same videos and hope that they're always gonna, and hope that one day you're gonna wake up and something gets above 100 views. You have to change that content. And so it occurred to me roughly 2 or so weeks before I stopped doing what I was doing that I needed to do something different, which is why the initial video of me stopping content was titled I Started Reading Again, because that was a big change that I made in my life. I started reading books. I started getting into something that I used to do all the time, and I still do. I've shifted over to audiobooks now. Currently I'm reading the Glass and Steel series, but I'm gonna see if I can show you guys this. See if you can see this. I own a lot of audiobooks. I think I'm at over 20, I believe, right now. And I've still got 3 more books in the series that I'm reading. It's called The Glass and Steel. I highly recommend it if you like Victorian era murder mysteries with magic and romance. I know that sounds like a weird combination, but trust me, CJ Archer is my favorite author. And yeah, it's been a fun time. I listen to these over and over again until I can afford to buy another one, then I buy another one, and that's it. But I've been taking a lot of time for myself, and that's really one of the biggest things in terms of changing in my life. I realized over those 2 months that I was gone that I just needed to separate myself from my content for a little bit. I needed to do something else. And so I separated pretty much everything. I separated my finances from my content. I separated my daily activities from my content. And when I came back to making content, it was with the understanding that sometimes you guys might not get videos for a week or two. And it's looking like that's probably going to be here pretty soon. I've got the clown video is recorded, and it's written and recorded. I need to edit it, and even though it's going to be a relatively short video, it's going to have a lot of edits in it, because another goal I had when coming back was to have better editing and more quality editing, because it used to be I'd record a video, I would slap some gameplay over it, I would make sure that there was no like stumbles and things like that, and then I'd throw some music under it and ship it. Boom, bada bing, bada bam. There you go. That was the video. And a lot of people like that, but I wanted something different. I wanted more edits. I wanted transitions. I wanted graphics. I wanted things that would keep me engaged when watching a video instead of just listening to some jackass ramble on, which is what I'm doing now. This recording's already over 10 minutes and I still haven't gotten to the question, will I ever go back to doing full-time content creation? And the answer to that question is yes, but I have to make sure I can pay my bills. And not just pay my bills, I need to pay my bills. I need to be able to have, so right now I'm making roughly $1,600 a month at my current job. I would like to make more, and unfortunately come mid-April I will no longer have a job because the tax season will be over, and I work for H&R Block, so once the tax season's over, there's nothing left to do. I am currently on the job hunt. I'm reapplying at bookstores. I've also applied at my bank. I think being a bank teller might be kind of interesting. I'm basically looking for a job where I can just kind of do the job. There's not a lot involved in it, right? You know, if it's, you know, if I got to stock shelves and deal with customers from time to time, that's fine. I just don't want a job that's like overly involved, because I do like my peace and quiet. The older I get, the more I realize I'm not really one that's big on like excitement and everything, which is one of the reasons I'll never go back to being a server if I can help it. If I have to, right? But if I can help it, I'll never go back to being a server, because that is just way too much to fucking deal with on a nightly basis. But anyway, the point is that I'm currently making $1,600 a month. My goal is to always be making between $1,600 and $2,000 a month. If you guys aren't aware, come October of this year, Mama Kaiser will be moving back to the home state where her and I are from, and I will be here. I will be staying here for the first time in my entire life. I will be truly and honestly on my own. The only time that I've really ever been, quote, on my own was the roughly year and a half when my ex-wife and I lived together. And even then I wasn't on my own. It was her and I. This will be the first time I'm on my own. I spent 3 years putting money into this trailer in order to buy it. Mama Kaiser and I worked closely with each other. Sometimes I would pay rent, sometimes she would. For 3 years straight, I paid the rent when I was working at the casino. And so both of our names are on the title, and when she leaves, this trailer will be mine. It'll be mine to do with whatever I want. And I'll tell you this, with the housing market and the way that it is, I'm staying in this bitch till the ceiling's falling on my head. I'm not gonna lie to you. As a millennial, owning my own home was not a chance I could pass up, so I'm just gonna stay here. I'm gonna stay here. The backdrop's gonna change when that happens, so later this year, if everything changes and you guys see like a cat tree or something in the back and I'm in a completely different space, I didn't move houses, just moved rooms. But the point is that when that time comes, when Mama Kaiser does, you know, get up and leave, I'll need to be making about $2,000 a month. But when you're a self-employed person, you need to overshoot the amount of bills you have, because you need to be able to put money in savings in order to pay your taxes at the end of the year. So realistically, until I'm making between $3,000 and say $5,000 a month doing content, not counting donate plasma or anything like that, I can't honestly go back to full-time. I would love to on a certain level, right? I would love to go back to being full-time, because I mean, tomorrow I'm gonna have a 10-hour shift, and then every day after that is, you know, a 6 to 7 hour shift, and it's hard for me to find the time to like sit down and do the video. Like in the past, that clown video would have been done, edited and shipped out and ready for you guys to view, and I don't know when it's going to come out, because I have no idea. I have a couple of shorter videos that I'm probably going to edit in between working on the clown video. We did a chaos streak, or we attempted a chaos streak, and we got a couple of pretty cool games out of that, some really intense ones. So I want to give you guys those games to watch. But like I said, you know, I would love to go full time. I would really, really love to do it. I would love to go back to doing it. You know, of course, with the caveat of still having a life, right? I would be full time, but I'm gonna be honest, I wouldn't put the 12, 14 hour days in like I used to. It would be like a job. I would put like 8 hours a day, right? Stream for 4 hours, edit for 4 hours, stream for 4 hours, edit for 4, and then that would be it, right? The rest of the time I'd go back to listening to my audiobooks, playing games that I want to play, watching anime, you know, watching TV, going out to eat. I went out to a museum a couple days ago. That was I spent like 2 hours. It was really cool walking around a museum, you know, just stuff like that, doing things for me. But as much as I would love to have that life, it's not feasible right now, and it may never be feasible. I might be at this weird juncture I'm at right now where I'm stuck at 6,000 subscribers, and my videos aren't even breaking 1,000 views nowadays. Or it might all turn around. I might get the right guest on the channel, or the right video might blow up, or whatever the case may be, and we might get right back into it, but we'll see. Other than that, thank you guys so much. As always, a great big special thank you to my channel members listed on screen now. You want to find out how to become a channel member today, get awesome perks like seeing videos early, merch discount codes, and more, and of course support the content while you do it, then please click that join button down below. I love you guys so much, and I will see you in the next one.